family. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So we up on Spreaker. I want to welcome the Spreaker fam. I want to thank all of y'all for using the app. I mean, so, you know, those of you that's using the app, I appreciate that. Those of you that tune in and use Spreaker, you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be the major mainstay of this podcast. Of what we're doing. Now, I just messed up so bad. I started the show without first sending out the black signal. That means Spreaker, as usual. You know what I'm saying? Y'all deserve a little bit more, so we're going to get into it. So, over this last week, because for us, this was like, in a sense, the first full week of school. And I had to adjust because my schedule has switched to where I am now doing a class, a character development class that we call the M7 class, right? Where I'm basically teaching about the principles, and so when I said I'd do it, I didn't realize. I mean, as we often do, those of us that operate with our boots on, right? You know what I'm saying? That's out here fighting the good fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like you volunteer and you find out that what you thought you was doing is not as simple as you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? So I never took into account that we got about 600 kids from K to 8th grade, and I was going to have to hit every last one of those classes. And little did I really realize that hitting all those classes would take up my entire day. Now, I have good classes, I have bad classes. I have good performances, I have bad performances. But all of them take energy, because when I'm going into a class, I'm trying to make sure I give them what they deserve, because our kids deserve they deserve the truth. Second off, they deserve the best that I can provide them with, and they deserve the tools so that they can make their lives they can take their lives to the next level. You know what I'm saying? In this war that we are in, right? So I've been dealing with that. So what we gonna do? I'm waiting for the black signal to hit, but I want y'all to know that the lines will be open. So what I'm going to have to start doing, because what I noticed on Ujima for tribal quotes, that if I don't do what we start out with, I leave the show open. The signal has went out. If I don't do what we start out with, what we're supposed to start out with, then the show, boom, rolls on. And I want to apologize to those people who enjoy tribal quotes, and we didn't necessarily get to the quotes. So I want to apologize to y'all, and like I said, pledge to prevent that from happening again. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, because y'all know how Brother High Tim is, and you know, I get off into, but I at least want to be able to throw the proverbs out so that I could get some of y'all wisdom, because some of y'all are wise beyond your years, and I want to make sure that y'all understand that I appreciate you and your wisdom. Sorry, Facebook, we dropped off for a second. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna let y'all know that the call lines are open, but we're gonna do the toast first. I appreciate if you call in, that you wait until after we get the toast done, and I should have posted that. I'm gonna take that one off. Let me erase this one, delete comment, and let's just go back. Call in line will be open after toast, and we will cover, my goal is to cover, or at least try to cover, all of the proverbs, as well as the story that we didn't cover, so we can move on next week. unless y'all decide that we might need to keep it. All right. Now, on Spreaker, I also want them to know. So let me get to my Spreaker fam and let them know, because I have the capabilities now. I'm figuring this out. And so now the next step is to start video broadcasting on another platform as well. So I'm thinking about going back to YouTube, and I'm just thinking about how I could make that happen. There's a new technology that's coming out that's not that expensive, that I may be able to plug into my phone and be able to stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. The only downside to that is that, unlike the usual YouTube experience, I won't be able to post stuff up. Like if I'm streaming through a YouTube platform, I can have control of the back screen, because I can use the Hangouts and I can post stuff up so that you can see. And that's the beauty of YouTube. The beauty of Facebook is that a lot of those people who might be interested in what you're talking about but aren't necessarily plugged into the same network, if they're your friend, they could stumble across it and like your stuff. So let me go on and post up the call in, and we get into our song and get to the toast. Call in line will be open after toast. I came in last night and went straight to sleep, fam. I mean, I turned on some of the stuff that I listened to on YouTube, because like I said, for me, YouTube is like a damn university. Everything, I have figured how to repurpose everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the keys of Kuumba as well as Nia. Because with Kuumba is you define yourself for yourself, which means that the things that you receive, you have the ability to define how and when you use it, right? So something purpose for one reason, I have found a way to repurpose it so that I can get out of it what I need, right? And I would highly suggest that the fam out there start learning how to repurpose some of this technology, because a lot of this stuff is good. It could be used for, it's being used for foolishness. I mean, hell, there's no reason why we can't use it for other stuff, right? Like we do on this talk show. You know, we lifting up our ancestors. So shout out to whoever's out there. I can't see who it is. So we about to get the music. Let's see if everything is ready and booted up. First up, I want to welcome you to the Congregation of Mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Well, anime is up, but she's not fired up. So let's try it again. I'd like to welcome you to the Congregation of Mighty, and this is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. That's right, girl. That's right. Of course, you know this is a daily toast and review and a Heart of Simba production, where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Grab your glass, you know what it is. I need to go to the store and buy some water. I gotta use this. I need to drink your water. Come on. Drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink your water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should we just breathe, then drink? Now lift your bottle, get some water. Now lift your glass and pour some water. Now lift your glass and pour some water. Now lift your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, live, pour, then drink. Now move your body, drink some more. Move your body, then drink some more. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should it be move, move, then drink? Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we just raise, then toast? Take your breath and drink some more. Lift your glass and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, toast. But to stay healthy, you need to breathe, drink, eat, move. But hey, check this out. Take your breath. Lift your glass. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Break down. Drink, 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 drink. Alright, family, if we are not healthy, we can't toast our ancestors. Get your breathing in. Get your toasting in. You know what I'm saying? Get your water in. Remember, to keep the doctor out your face, I always got to review this because the reason we started this was, one, to salute the ancestors that I felt was falling through the cracks, which was mainly our ancestors, our personal ancestors, right? You know, those are the people that didn't write books, unless you count yourself as their book that they left. You know what I'm saying? But also to talk about some of the issues that were plaguing our community. Like I said, I started seeing a rise in these autoimmune diseases. And as I started doing research on these autoimmune diseases, because it started hitting my family, I started finding out simple things like taking a breath and learning how to meditate. And not just, let's say some of y'all just religious out there and you don't want to meditate, but breathing properly and taking time to breathe and clear the sinuses and get the breath down into the body, right, was a major key to health. And then drinking the proper amount of water per day, every day. No tea, no coffee, but getting the proper amounts of water. You know what I'm saying? Because one, people were starving from proper air. Some people was getting too much air, so they needed to hold their breath a little bit. But then other people were dying because they had they were suffering from dehydration, right? So we got to watch out for that. It looked like I see Sister Jill on the line. Look like my brother Will is out there. Shouts out to you, Will. All right. And the next thing is eating culturally appropriate food. What do you mean, Brother Hatim? Everybody that has a cell phone, take some time to look up the African heritage diet, right? Because every culture developed a diet so that it can survive. Now, this is a very simple concept. Every people have a relationship to the land. And in order for that land and those people to thrive, right? Shouts out to Miss Deanna, right? And for that relationship to continue, the land will provide what the people needed. So with certain plants that the land will provide for those people, providing them with what they needed. Certain animals. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at a cultural heritage diet, you see what your ancestors may have had or included in a diet that you don't, which may be some of the keys that you might be missing to staying healthy. And the last one is being culturally appropriate in our movements and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Boom. But being able to get up and move. A lot of us are sitting still and not moving enough. You know, sometimes we got to get up. We got to get out here and run and do some stuff. The land will provide, and it always has. The land wants life upon it, right? So it provides each organism with exactly what it needs to survive. Now, what starts to happen is when we start mixing other stuff. And I'm not saying, family, you got to give up pizza. No, Brother Hatim is not saying down with pizza. You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy pizza. I'm not telling you that you can't go and eat some Mediterranean food or eat some Chinese food. But what I'm saying is you need to increase the amount of culturally appropriate foods. And what are those? That's what the heritage diet can answer, or somebody could call in and answer that, because that field right now, I got other people. It's other people in Gye-Nyame Journey that's handling that piece. So I don't have to necessarily speak on it. Now, we might go into a little bit more as we start doing some more stuff down the line, but that's for other people right now. But you gonna do your own research, because that's a major piece of Gye-Nyame Journey. Doing your own research. You don't take my word for it. Don't even take my view of it. Right? Do your research. Because we need thinkers. We need a lot. You know what I'm saying? We need thinkers, right? Because I was about to say something like we need more chiefs, but no, we don't need no more motherfucking chiefs. What we need people that could think, critically think, so they could throw their die in with the right people, right? Because we got a lot of people running around here with illusions, right? But hey, and that's all good. So, family, we're gonna get this toast on. Hold on, I need to drink my water. So let's put on some water drinking music. Oh man, I meant to upload something by Spirit, because I got Brother Malik on here, but I don't have Spirit. So let's do Black Woman by Mr. Deity, and the music by Mr. Deity. I did this a couple of days ago. Ivan Van Sertima featuring Mr. Deity. I think this is Jill. She wrote, "Heritage diet with culturally appropriate food, water, and movement." Right. So here we go. This is Ivan Van Sertima with Mr. Deity. So we can go and drink our water up, so we can get to this toast, and then we can pull out these proverbs. Well, first we're gonna pull out the folktale that we missed. Then we're gonna pull out the proverbs, and then we're gonna call it a day.
That Adam and Eve myth, interpreted as it was later on in history, led to profound conceptions of the woman as inferior, and sometimes in some civilizations as essentially evil. So she's supposed to be the great seductress, the weaker kind, etc. This was not the case in the African mythology. So that you already had a divine myth which gave a basis. It was a sort of bedrock for a reality that would give the woman greater freedom and power. It is not an accident, therefore, that many of the goddesses of the Europeans were black. They could have chosen their own women, they chose some of their own women, but the most important goddesses were black. Not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greeks. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the golden...
Alright, now, for those that like that, that is Ivan Van Sertima Well, actually, that's Mr. Deity featuring Ivan Van Sertima, who is speaking on black women of antiquity. So, Mr. Deity did some creative stuff with that, and I like that. So, today, we are going to be toasting, because you know, on the Daily Toast, for those that don't know, the rules are very simple. First, we drink our water. I just did, this is 16.9 ounces, right? So I just did 33.8 ounces. I like to start the day off like that. And I usually have a health drink. So the health drink we're going to pull from today, it's brought to you by that ambrosia. This is from my last batch. This is one of my 7-gallon buckets, right? And I had a little bit left, so I think I'm going to feed my scobies and have me some leftover, because I think I'm about to brew another batch, and I'm about to go. Of course, it's not all the way full, right? Some of the family came and got some of this, right? So we going to go, and we're going to toast using this, because it's been sitting and it's been aging for about, this one might be about 10 days old. So it's at its nutritional peak. And we're going to sip this up while we sit up and toast the ancestors and talk about some of the wisdom that was left to us to overcome some of the issues that I was talking about. Because y'all know that Brother Hatim sometimes go a little bit far with shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Pisces, I feel. Right? And I don't, like I said, if motherfuckers can't handle the fact that I'm human and that I feel certain ways and shit, you know what I'm saying? Too goddamn bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way it goes down the Gye-Nyame journey. Because the piece is, I want anybody to feel that they could call in. I want anybody to feel that they could go on and share, right? Within reason. Because some, y'all know. We all got those guys. Some of us, right? But like I said, I stepped out and I started a format so that we could have a place where we could have discussions and enjoy views from different corners of our community, like Lady J or Brother Kwame or Allende. You know what I'm saying? Where they call in, because I hang with some brilliant people. I don't necessarily agree with them all the time, but they brilliant and they do the work. So those type of people is who I want to hear from. A lot of theoreticians, I ain't got no goddamn time for. You know what I'm saying? Because all three of those people that you heard on Thursday the show kind of twisted off on, all of them I have worked with in a community capacity in some form or fashion. So whether I agree with them or you agree with them or not, they doing work. And those are the people that I love calling into my show, right? Because they are the people that deserve to be heard, because they're sitting out here with these babies. They're sitting out here with these adults. They're trying to make changes in people's lives. And those are the people that I encourage to call into Gye-Nyame Journey and have conversation with. Those theoreticians, those motherfuckers with abstract theories and not doing shit outside of their circle. See, because like I said, you might not, I don't have to agree with Lady J on everything she say. But when Lady J tell me she gonna be somewhere and she gonna do something for the kids and she want me to come and do something for the kids and she's able to work with individuals that she don't even get along with, and she's able to stick in and volunteer for shit, she has the right to say what the fuck she want to say on my show, right? When I call Allende and I need me a goddamn drummer and I need the spirits to be drummed in, and he come in and he will do that and don't ask me for shit, right? And if I need somebody to have my back, he could do it. Quasi, you know what I'm saying? When I call Quasi now, tell Quasi that I got some people outside of my door right now trying to get at me. Quasi's gonna get over here and get me up out of this. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then I say, Quasi, we going camping, or Quasi, I need you to help me with this. Boom, they coming. So we don't have to agree. We could threaten each other. We could do all that shit. We family, right? And we don't have to agree. But I know from my personal experience with all those individuals that they have the spirit of our ancestors moving through them, and they doing the work. We all at just different points. You know what I'm saying? We all at different points, and we have to go in and listen and find out what that is, right? When I spoke to y'all on Ujamaa, I was going through a personal issue. I'm still going through a personal issue because it's like, boom, where's the wealth? Right? And it's like, and I'm looking at the numbers, and then I got to look into these young people's faces at school, and then I got to look at my young people's faces in my house, and then I got to wonder what type of future is going to be there for them if we don't get out here and get busy. You got to understand, when I have experienced the reality of, once again, when I was younger, I had a dream that a person murdered my son. Now, Wisdom wasn't even born yet. So this is an old story. Because I denied to help them when I could have. What? See, now, family, let me tell y'all what just happened, right? I just had a ding come across the screen. This how serious people are about this. I slipped up and I said, I ain't gonna say what I said again, but somebody heard me say the day of the week in the wrong way, and they just text me that I owe them some push-ups. That's how you know culture real, right? People holding you responsible for stuff. So now let's get in here and do these libations so that we can go and have conversations. Lines will be open. As a matter of fact, let me go on over and I ain't gonna open it right now because I know what's gonna happen. So, all right. So first, calling the creator by whatever name you choose. Call that creator. We lift up our glass. We lift up our glass to that creator by the name that you choose. And we salute that creator and we say, Ashe. Now we move to the marvelous, fantastic list of our ancestors that we have compiled over the last 2 years. And there's plenty of room for your ancestors if you want them to join the Ancestor Corps, right? You know what I'm saying? Because listen, we're building up our military in the physical, and we're building up our military in the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about a lot of these spiritual deities out here that people be calling on, but I do know about Mima, and I do know about my people, right? And I do know that my people have had a long-standing relationship with ancestors, right? So I do know those people. So I have a little bit more faith when I call on the names that I know, and I call on the names of people's ancestors that I know personally. That they tell me stories about their ancestors, and that is a powerful thing, right? And I'm like, boom, I feel I could depend on this list because I've been doing all right. I ain't balling, but I ain't falling either. All right, so calling on Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin and Tex, Anna Davis, Herman Brown, Seen, Rosalie Tilly, George and William Walter, Chris and Fanny Gass and Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pitt Manel, Nomo X, Pat Mott, Rob Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr. Now I got a question. Is there a difference between a second and a junior? Anybody out there know, or can somebody do the research? Is there a difference? Because I'm noticing I have the second in here, and I also have juniors in here. So is there a difference between a junior and the second? All right. Can somebody let me know? Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulliam, the Luxter brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodolus Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore. Anybody spoke to Brother Kwame since he been back? All right, just putting that out there. Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson. That might have been him that texted me. Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Del Rita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. I would put more on this page, but with my eyesight right now, I wouldn't be able to read them unless I had my glasses, and I don't like putting them on. So I have to go to the book, the Ancestor book. There's plenty of pages. And family, I promise you that if we have enough ancestors to fill a book, we will set up a show where we will read these daily. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm serious about this whole saluting our personal ancestors and those that are in our collective, raising those ancestors up, because I feel that is very important. DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Hare Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Halsey Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Kofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staton, Joel, Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Bette Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey and Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.G. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Morel Ellis, Elizabeth Battles, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan Phyllis Barnett. Miss Tracy, if you are listening, please let me know. Margaret Logan Phyllis Barnett, are those two separate? Because there was no there was no comma there. So I'm going to read it both ways. Margaret Logan Phyllis Barnett, or Margaret Logan Phyllis Barnett. Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban. I try to take care of our ancestors, family. So excuse me. Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Kofer, George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott. Okay, thank you. So I think that was her that texted me about me and Owen push-ups, but they're separate. So let me go back. Hey, Clay. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. Hey, Clay. Can you bring me a pen? Somebody's online. We almost done. Shouts out to Miss CeeLo. Uh-oh. Mr. Kwame is in the house. All right. Somebody answered the question. Junior is first after senior. Great. That ain't answer the question. All right. So there's a junior. So before there's the first, there's a junior. So you have the father who names his son, or the family chooses to name the son after that father, and that's a junior. And then right after the junior, there's if that father decides to name the child after him, if that child decides to name that child after him, it becomes the first. So there's actually two generations above the first. All right, let me go on in and make this call, because somebody is busting in on the lines. All right. No problem, though. So we're going to finish. All I ask...
This call is being recorded.
All I ask is that you allow me to finish the toast. Turn your phone down. Turn your phone down. You say who? What's going on? What's going on, CeeLo? All right. So we lift up our glass, we salute our ancestors, we say Ashe. All right, from there, we move on. What we moving on to, Brother Hatim? What we moving on to? We moving on to the present moment, and I play my favorite cut.
Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow! There is no tomorrow! There is no tomorrow!
All right, family, we lift up our glass to the present moment, because in the present moment, we got to make it happen, right? We know that right now we are on Kuumba, right? We ain't gonna be low, because we on Kuumba. That's creativity. The mighty principle today is order. The color is orange. Y'all see I got on the orange Daily Toaster shirt. We got cause and effect, which is the hermetic principle of the day. Male name is Kwame. Female name is Alma. Can you hear me, CeeLo? CeeLo, can you hear me? All right, I think I know what's going on. Hold on. Let me erase that one. We go here. Hello? Oh, let's see. All right. I don't know. So, CeeLo, if you out there, if you can hear me, let me know. Because I see you talking. Let me go on and let me hang up. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to start over. I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to end conference. And I'm going to restart it. All right. So, we covered the day. Now we're going to move to our children. We toast our children's children on to infinity. All right? Toast our children on to infinity. And with that, we say, Ashe. From there, family, from there, this is where we moving to.
This call is being recorded.
We move to all of our relations. We say Ashe.
Hello, organizer.
How you doing today? We lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there, I toast. Oh, this is our private libation. This is your private libation. This is for you. This is your private toast. I salute each and every last one of you, as you know. But now is your time to salute. We've been those of you that take time to salute your ancestors. Now that we have them in the room, now we got that energy around it. What is it that you want? Raise your glass. Toast. We say Ashe. Last but not least, I salute the most powerful being in the room, and that's all you daily toasters, right? All of you people that take time to stop in and check out because the number's been going up. And I shout you out. I say Ashe. 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 I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. Ashe. All right, now we get into our conversation. So, CeeLo, can you hear me? I know what's wrong. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey.
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I'm about to say, because
I can hear you on the Facebook, but I can't
right,
hear you on the phone.
because we've been sabotaged. It's been sabotagey here. Brother Cleveland.
So when I crossed the Facebook, which I just did, I can't hear you. But can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Hold on. Yeah, we've been sabotaged by Cleveland. He comes up and he just unplugged shit for no reason at all. Hold on, I gotta reset it. Cleveland,
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hold on. Check 1, check 2. Hello? Cleve, you got to stop unplugging my shit, man.
But I cannot hear you.
Hold on. Let's do HD webcam. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4. It's up and it's running now. So, CeeLo, feel free to call back in. Check 1.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
What happened was that Cleve was gaming on my computer. Cleve was gaming on my computer earlier, and he unplugged my mic, the mic that I use specifically for the Uber conference. All right, so family, you got an announcement you got to make, Miss CeeLo, before we get into this folk tale and these proverbs real quick.
An announcement. No, not really. I mean, unless y'all from Youngstown, the Yo to the buses this weekend. I don't know if there's any Youngstown folk in the house.
Yeah, I think sometimes we be having quite a few Youngstown people. Those up north. Those up north.
Tomorrow, Sister Roni was putting together a carpool up to there's a temple up there. I don't know if it's a Kemetic temple or a yoga temple. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm trying to go with Mr. Roni tomorrow. We're not having yoga class here. We're actually going to carpool up to Cleveland.
And be on the lookout on the Black Signal, because Sister Roni and Sister Cynthia they asked me to put a text on. I put it on. As a matter of fact, it should have went out right now. It should be going out. It should be going out right about now. So you should be getting it. We'll see how the system works. But Sister Roni is doing good work out there. She does the Kemetic yoga, and she also is interested in starting a Kemetic temple here. So keep your ears out for that. All right? So let's do this. Lord have mercy. I think, like CeeLo said, I might have to get a room with this ambrosia, because this girl, sexy. God damn, come here.
What are you doing over there? What are you doing?
Yeah, I just fell in love again. All right. Here we go. This was the folktale for the week that we didn't get to cover. Anybody want to discuss it, feel free to call in 614-556-4535. That's 614-556-4535. Here we go. Truth and the Traveler. A wayfaring man traveling in the desert met a woman standing alone and terribly dejected. He inquired of her, "Who art thou?" "My name is Truth," she replied. "And for what cause," he asked, have you left it? Hold on one second, CeeLo. I'm gonna mute your mic for 1 minute while I read through, because there's a lot of background noise. All right, let's start over. A wayfaring man traveling in the desert met a woman standing alone and terribly dejected. He inquired of her, "Who art thou?" "My name is Truth," she replied. "And for what cause," he asked, "have you left the city so to dwell alone here in the wilderness?" She made answer, "Because in former times falsehood was with few, but now with all men." Hot damn, where's my lightning at? Where's my lightning? Hold on, Brother Kwame, before we get into that. Okay. Kwame's on the line. Caught one of those. You on an airplane, CeeLo?
What you said?
You on an airplane?
Am I on an airplane? No, I'm in my car.
Oh, okay. You got the window down. All right.
No.
All right, because I hear you.
No.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Brother Kwame say caught one of those southern colds, attacked me when I was away from my Kwame drink. Sinus, cough, and sneezes. Man, you when you travel, you gotta take you what's those little things?
Double portion of that.
Right. What they call those little things that the people carry with the alcohol in them?
A flask?
Yeah, you get you a flask, man. Kwame, travel.
A traveling flask?
You got to have you a travel flask. When you going and you got that ambrosia, and you own it, you better take you a travel flask. I'm telling you, man. I find ways to be getting ambrosia. You know, because like when my family take a trip to Ghana, I'm going to have to figure out how to get me some scobies over there, because I might not be able to take no ambrosia. But I'm going to take some scobies over there, and I'm going to start making that ambrosia over there. So, but hey, all right, so here we go with that story. So now, anybody got any comments on this story? You got a comment on that story, Miss CeeLo? Oh, man.
I couldn't hear it. Read it again, please.
Okay. All right, here we go. What CeeLo wants, Miss CeeLo gets. Hold on.
Stop saying that. You can go pick up some kind of domineering witchy person, and I'm really not. I am the sweetest, most supportive person you'll ever meet.
That's why CeeLo gets what CeeLo wants.
Who gets whatever she wants? Who gets whatever she wants?
All right. See, you gonna keep on talking till you call Kwame up on the line, and then I'm gonna have to stop being nice, because he gonna say all the mean stuff. A wayfaring man traveling in the desert met a woman standing alone and terribly dejected. He inquired of her, "Who art thou?" "My name is Truth," she replied. "And for what cause," he asked, "have you left the city to dwell alone here in the wilderness?" She made answer, "Because in former times falsehood was with few, but is now with all men."
Falsehood was with you, but is now with all men.
Right. It was with few. F-E-W. Now.
Oh, with few.
With
okay.
few.
Funky said with you. Funky was with few, but is now with all men. Now, who is speaking? Who's saying that?
That's Truth. So Truth
Who's saying that to?
a traveler. You have a traveler who's in the woods. He's in the wilderness and he runs into a woman. He asks this woman what's her name. Her name is Truth. He says, so why are you out here in this wilderness? Looking all sad and stuff. She says, I'm in the wilderness because she can no longer dwell in the city because at one time falsehood was with few, but now she has been cast out into the wilderness because falsehood is with everyone or with many.
Wow.
She said with all.
As you are reading this, I'm hearing that kind of like the few that actually know the truth, we've been kind of banished. For those who, the masses are definitely under falsehood and untruths and many delusional, inappropriate beliefs and behaviors. And I feel like the truth are those who are not under that delusion. When you start saying certain things to people, they act like you crazy.
Right. No.
It's like, why y'all radical? Why y'all militant? Why y'all,
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm just talking about us having our rightful place, kind of like the Killmonger thing.
Right.
Everybody was like, Killmonger is negative. No, Killmonger is right. We're going to start over, and this time, we're going to be on top.
We're going to be on top. If you're gonna play the game, you're supposed to be playing to win. You ain't supposed to be playing to place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now I got...
Playing to just fly below the radar and not even be noticed and not even be, oppressed, instead of being who and what you are,
I mean,
and having your rightful place.
That's how a lot of us exist, right? And it's like we just in the game. We ain't in the game to win. You know what I'm saying? So we accept what we get. You know what I'm saying? And something like I said, I get upset about that shit. I'm like, yo, I can't accept this shit. This shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm training to win. I don't get into competition to place. Now, those of you that do that shit, I salute you, right? You know what I'm saying? But this might not be the place for you because we got to play to win. Because in this game, because even when we go to the proverb, Bruce Lee say, a fight should be seen like a small play, but played seriously. See, we are in the play, we just want the part. You know what I'm saying? And we don't even want to be serious about the goddamn part. We got to understand the role that we are in this game, and we got to decide whether we want to be the winners or we just want a place. Or hell, many of us are just happy about being in the game. And that's when truth goes to the wilderness. Because many of us don't want to deal with truth. We want to sit around and we want to suck up all of the fantasies and the feel good. And one of the things that cause truth to be pushed out is that truth don't make you feel good all the time. Truth ain't always rosy. Truth ain't always joyous. You understand? Truth, a lot of times, is painful. You understand what I'm saying? Truth, a lot of times, force you to have to take a look at yourself, and many of us have been lulled into believing that we don't have to take a look at ourselves. Now, I want to side note. I'm going to pause that for a second. I was shocked because Cleveland had told me one time that he saw a little... Cleveland! What's those little birds? Hummingbird. He saw a hummingbird in the garden. I just seen a hummingbird. I'm almost 50 years old, and I never really seen a hummingbird. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a hummingbird in a garden that my son put together. CeeLo, what's going on in the background? Push smoke. Push
I'm getting out of my car. Sorry about that. You can mute me back.
Okay. Just when you're ready, just holler. It'll come on when you start talking.
Okay.
Our brother Kwame say falsehood increases exponentially in hits. It forces out truth into the hinterlands. And and like he said, it grows exponentially. It's like a virus, right? And the falsehoods, and like part of the struggle for us is learning to deal with falsehoods, learning to overcome some of the falsehoods, because a lot of falsehoods are put in place to make you comfortable. I believe. Let me preface it. I believe that a majority of the falsehoods are designed to make you feel comfortable. And the thing that I'm challenging folks to on is, are we really in a comfortable situation? Are we really? You know what I'm saying? Because you look around and you see some of the disparities and you can't help. And especially when a life crisis hits. See, what happened to me when y'all saw me on Thursday and y'all listened to me on Sunday, right? On that, if you know what just happened, throw a thumbs up. So, that's 21. That's 21 I got to knock out. So, for those that don't know, well, some of y'all, I know, those that don't understand, in Gye-Nyame, right, when we in a cultural situation, mainly, when we use the regular days of the week, right, we owe 7 push-ups for the 7 principles, because we're not applying our principles, because we got to always control of thought, control of action, right? If we're trying to practice, if we're talking about those myotic principles and we're talking about living those myotic principles, we got to put them into practice constantly. So control of thought. One of the things that I'm trying to control right now is my concept of time. And the first things that we're starting with is the days of the week, right? So I just said 2 of them, and then I said something earlier. But what I was confronted with on Kuumba of last week, Kuumba night, no, my fault. It was, well, it don't even matter when it was. But what I was confronting, family, what I was confronting was a truth that rose up in my face and slapped me. And trying to accept that truth, trying to work with that truth, evoked. So now I want y'all to see what I'm doing. I'm pulling up this sheet. It's an emotional sheet that Brother Wakesa gave me, and it evoked, or it caused me to feel sadness. I'm scared, right? And I have to ask myself, what is the loss? What is the danger? Now, the danger for me was that I have brought young people into this world, or I have mentored young people into this world, but I have not been able to secure life for them as an adult in the way that I believe that I should. And I know some people out there, you can't take that on yourself. But if I don't take it on myself, who will? You understand what I'm saying? I honestly believe that part of leaving a legacy is leaving more than just ideas. It's about transfer of not only knowledge that will make it possible for you to live life, but it's the transfer of capital. It's the transfer of material means and material tools that you could work and warp reality. Money does that. You know what I'm saying? Property does that. It allows you to shape the reality that you exist in. And I got all these young people that are counting on me. Ones that are close and ones that are at distance. that oftentimes that when they hit critical points in their life, you know what I'm saying, I can't stand in that gap for them. And I know many of y'all that's not your job, but I disagree with you. Right? And it's like, I need to go, for me, I feel I need to go through these feelings so that I could be reminded, so I could get up and do this daily toast, so I could get up and make these t-shirts, so I could get up and get out here for when we planning these cultural events, so I could get up and get into the school and make sure that I'm giving my kids what they need, right? And be able to do what I can do, so that eventually I could do more. I need these feelings to push me. We have to be responsible. We're responsible for the legacy we leave. Especially if we're in the know. If you're unconscious, then you ain't got to worry about that shit. Right? But I know. So since I know, I have to carry myself as if I know, because I can't pretend that I don't know why a legacy wasn't passed to me, and why it's a possibility that there's going to be a less of a legacy passed on to, but there's going to be something passed on to my children, right? And there's going to be something passed on to all of my children, to my let me call them my extended children, because I want to be able to help them all right? A legacy on all levels: spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, and intuitional. Many of us get satisfied that we just leave them something on a mental level. Some of us, I want to leave. I believe that it's our responsibility to leave a legacy on all 5 parts of the human being: intuitionally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. A lot of us discount this shit here, right? Because we get so spiritual, like I was saying, sometimes we get so spiritual that we become of no earthly good, and that's not good for us. That's not healthy for us. Our people have always had. We developed the concept of economy, of an economic system. We had economic systems rolling in Egypt. We had them in Ghana. We had them in Mali. We had them in Songhai. We had them in South Africa with the Zulus and all those tribal groups. We had an economic system. It might not have been like this, but it was an economic system. And we realized that the economic system is basically the blood flow of the people. When the blood starts flowing, the body dies. So I hear some of my family when they talk about money is not important. But then I could come back at you with spirituality is not that important. And some of you would get offended by that shit. You know why spirituality is more important for us? Because that make it easy for us to be in the game, but not playing to win. Well, at least I got the spiritual outcome of the game. Well, at least I got the knowledge of the game. At least I got the intuition of the. It makes it easier because we don't have to face the fact that in order to get the physical shit, we're gonna have to get physical. That's, and many of us don't want to do that shit. Many of us don't want to have to get out here and do the work and maybe even clash with motherfuckers because we're going to have.
You know what though?
Go ahead. What's up?
I believe this though.
You say it again?
It's out of alignment because we are spirit beings. We're energy.
Right.
And if our spirit is out of alignment, then it makes the physical impossible. Quite frankly.
Okay. Now,
because we don't accept ourselves as that transcendental energy, that never-ending, never-dying energy, and we don't accept our own spirituality, our culturally appropriate spirituality. And many of us, our spiritual that we put so much importance on is so horribly misaligned and culturally inappropriate, it leads to our dysfunction and inability to function. Does that make any sense?
Yes. Now, and I want you to understand when I said spirituality wasn't that important, because when people say the money or the physical aspect is not that important, because the whole piece is we got to understand all of these exist on a balance. And like you just said.
They do, but I'm saying, but that's the reason why so many of us cannot get there in the physical is because of that spiritual misalignment. You know, when you change a people's God, which is what has happened essentially to us, you change those people. You absolutely change those people at their core, at their motivation. You know, and they don't say, "Oh, some of you all are so heavily minded, you know, earthly good." You know.
Wait, say that again. Heavily minded. Huh? You said heavily minded, but what?
Some of you are so heavenly minded. You're no earthly good. You ever heard that?
Right. Thing? Oh, hell yeah. And that's that's the piece that I'm dealing with because how can I put it? It's like a lot of us use the whole spiritual concept to hide from the responsibility that we are responsible for leaving a part. Because my fault. Let me say it like this. Intuition is not more important than mental. Mental is not more important than emotional. Emotional is not more important than spiritual. Spiritual is not more important than physical. Physical is not more important to intuition. There's a balance between all of them. What happens is we are allowed to justify the fact that we mark off one of these 5 balances, one of 5 parts of the balance, and we could be like, well, at least I got the spiritual in check, and I'm spiritual, and we don't understand the spirit manifests in the material. You know what I'm saying? It's on an equal piece because you practice your spirituality through a physical being. You practice your spirituality through physical acts. So if you are lacking, then there may be something wrong with how you're looking at the spirituality. Because we got to understand culture, above all, culture was designed and was made by people to make it possible for them to survive and to thrive. And when the culture is no longer doing that, you need to throw that shit to the side and start figuring out what do you either you need to repair it or throw that shit to the side. Brother Kwame say, speaking of which, when can I get some of those salad goods our young farmers are selling? I will be sending out a list or at least a contact so that people can start making orders. We will start taking orders soon. So I'm just in the final stages of negotiating and stuff like that. So it's going to be going down real soon. Sometimes I see people use spirit as spookism. Navita says sometimes I see people use spirituality as a form of spookism. And it's almost as if, like, you got people who are satisfied with losing and justify the loss because in some form or fashion it's spiritually okay. They could find a verse or they could find a mantra, you know what I'm saying, that they could use to justify getting their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. We need to decide whether we are going to play the game. Go ahead.
I think also what Navita's referring to is the demonization of our true spirituality. You know, when you tell people that you don't go to church, quote unquote, or you're not a Christian, quote unquote, meaning a worshiper of white Jesus, they demonize you. I've even had black folks argue me down that the best thing that ever happened to the African was the white man picking us up from Africa and saving us from our demonized, devil worshiping selves.
Right. Okay? But then on the other spectrum, on the other end of the spectrum, we'll get some people that are so conscious that they are practicing spirituality in a way that does not benefit them or their family, and it's okay if they sit around and smoke weed and meditate. And I'm like, both of those need to be thrown in a scrap heap. I got motherfuckers that won't do work because you don't deal with the same deity as them. Spookism is like acting like ghosts and shit. You know, I ain't on that shit. But go ahead, somebody. I think this is Sister Navita on the line.
This is Sister Navita. Here's one of the things that I find is common that people put under the spirituality realm, and I hear people say is, well, You know, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. You know, it don't happen because it wasn't meant to happen. You know, everything happens for a reason. It was done in this time. You know, and that reason could very well be that you didn't put enough work in. You need to go back, revisit that. You know what I mean? But this whole concept of, well, if it's meant to be, it's just meant to be. And that's the way the universe meant it to be, so that's how you maybe I don't know how it's meant to be. Maybe you need to revisit that and work a little bit harder at that. And it's like a crutch sometimes with people I notice when things are not going a certain way, and these are people who are not, you know, the Christian people do it too, because sometimes it really, I just see a lot of people are overlapping their religious way of thinking and just calling it spirituality,
right,
when they still are relying on this outside source to get the job done.
Yeah, and I'm gonna turn it over to the Spirit. I'm gonna turn them over to God.
Right.
Pray for them.
And
whatever God says should happen. You know, well, did you know that you were God? Hello.
See,
Hello?
but that's the point. See, and you got to understand what a lot of people don't want to take is that responsibility of being divine, because that means that in a sense we chose this. I chose this life. I chose to be black. See, what I'm saying is, a lot of us, damn, if I had a choice, I would have never been born in this. But, you know what I'm saying? I would have never picked to be black. What I'm telling people in Gye-Nyame Journey is that you chose your parents. You understood what you was coming here for. You came for the fight. Now, my issue is not with other people and other people's choice. My issue is with my choice and what I have a responsibility to do and what I am going to do. I am responsible for leaving a legacy. And sometimes I get wore down and become depressed about that shit. But I get back up and I'm like, boom, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm not depending on a divination for that shit. I'm not depending on Mars rising in Aquarius or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I understand. Sometimes I understand it takes the hand of God to make things happen. And since I am God, sometimes it takes me putting my hands on some shit to make it happen. And I have seen this shit in the street, because you don't never see a dope dealer talking about my money ain't balanced. It's the way of the ancestors. No, that nigga going out to get his money. And we justify that shit. The IRS don't look at your motherfucking tax bill and be like, hey, they ain't pay that shit on time. It's the will of the founding fathers. No, them motherfuckers garnish your paycheck. We the only, I ain't gonna even say, as a people and as individuals, we the only, I feel that it's dangerous when we turn over shit that's within our grasp to outside forces. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like when people be like, yo, well, it's the will of God that it is how. No, fuck that. Because in many instances, because I'm going to tell y'all like this. When motherfuckers tell me.
That's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
When motherfuckers say that slavery was the will of God, then I have to wonder why black folks are not atheists and have walked away from that shit. Slavery was the will of men who understood that their will shapes reality. You know why they understood that shit? Because the ones that taught them that shit came from us. Because we were shaping reality.
I'd like the oil change today. Already. Yeah, do you have the kind of, I want to know if you had the kind of oil I'm supposed to have. I'm going to take a synthetic oil.
She up there flirting. I'm going to tell Brother Renee you out there flirting. Y'all heard it. She out there flirting about some goddamn oil. All right. I'm just saying. All right, family. But, and Sister Navita, thanks for calling in about this whole, because and the piece is, with the whole truth piece, with the story about truth, it's about truth being forced out. And all these, in a sense, false doctrines, all this falsehood that's coming in, that's allowing truth to be removed, family. And the truth of the matter is that that we have power, right? And it's like it don't work just on an individual basis. Some of the power that we need, I got a beautiful monarch butterfly just circling around in my garden. Well, actually, my son's garden. That took my whole mind. My son didn't hope for flowers. He didn't rely on just pouring libations to make sure that he was able to get the garden that he wanted. And I didn't rely on libations to just make sure that we got the flowers that we wanted. We selected where we was gonna put the flowers and where we was gonna put the tomatoes and made that shit happen. We didn't depend on spirit because spirit would not make it happen because spirit works through the body, and we have to understand that all these things are aligned. Intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Brother Kwame say, understand the African origin of Judeo-Christian beliefs and conversations with those who would argue the captivity of our people was the best thing that ever happened. Hold on. See more. Because you know Brother Kwame ain't going to stop it right there. Best thing that ever happened to us. Also speak to what one must do to find truth. Go to the hinterlands within and without find truth. And now, that's an important piece. What Brother Kwame has brought out, the message, the deeper message in that. Remember, I told you these stories are layered. So at one point, we be like, well, damn, shit, truth is forced out in this story. And a lot of us might just leave it at the story. But the fact of the matter is that truth is experiencing the same thing in our lives right now. And in order to find truth, Brother Kwame say, we have to go to the hinterlands, within and without. We have to go to the wilderness, within and without. We have to be like that traveler, because that traveler wasn't in the city when he found truth. That traveler was in the woods, was in the wilderness, seeking, traveling. And that's when he found truth. And really, family, when you find truth, oftentimes you are in the hinterland. You are in the wilderness. And I need you to understand that the statement I'm making is layered. You have different understandings of it if you just sit back and think about it. So when we're seeking truth, and you know what I'm saying? And truth, there's truth for the body, right? There's certain things that align with the truth of the body, and certain things that don't align with the truth of the body. Those things that don't align with the truth of the body make you sick, right? There's we got spirit, truth of the spirit. There's certain truths that line up with the spirit, certain ones that don't. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be aware of when we start crossing them, and because if we're dealing with a meiotic concept, one of the key things with it is balance. Family, balance. Right? You can't neglect your body. You can't neglect your spirit. You can't neglect your emotions. You can't neglect your spirituality. You can't neglect you can't neglect the middle. You can't the mental. You can't neglect the intuition. All of them need to be developed. There has to be a balance. And a lot of times I believe that in our experience with falsehood, some of the falsehood we've been running apart is saying that one of these should be elevated above them all. When in fact, intuition, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical need to all work together so that they can form the fist that's going to knock falsehood on her ass. All right. So I hope I covered that one well enough. All right, on to the next. So now we got these proverbs. Anybody out there? Type in a 1, 2, or 3, and because I already read them, y'all know. I ain't gonna say y'all know what they are. Give me which one you want to go over. I'll stay and I'll wait for a second. If not, then that means nobody want to do it. Or CeeLo, you can click the app and get back on. Those that want to join the conversation, hit us up at 614-556-4535. Now, also, let me tell y'all this about the line. You don't need me to be on the show to get on the line. I have it set up, or at least I'm going to go back and check the settings, because the line was to be a show in itself. And I wanted to set it up so that anybody that has something that they wanted to share with the community, an idea, they could put it up on the line. You can set up your own conference calls on the line. Why? Just know that it's going to be taped, right? It's going to be taped, and it's available for us to put up on Gye-Nyame Journey. So you might be somewhere, you might see some shit that offends you. I want you to be able to pick up the phone and call the line and be able to have a recorded comment that you want me to post on the show. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, this is a community show. The line is literally the first podcast that was created so that the people can have a voice. Now we have just been joined by the Black Yoda, also known as Don Kwame Ole. Brother Kwame, what's up, man?
Hey, what's happening, man?
What's going on?
Hey, speaking of this Uber conference thing, we're supposed to have
I know.
our emotional emancipation circle today, correct?
I think so. You ain't gonna make it. You heard me, right?
Would it be possible to Uber me in?
Yeah, I'm thinking about calling and canceling it, because if you ain't gonna be there, I ain't gonna be there, and it's the first week of school. A lot of those young people ain't gonna be there. I'm thinking about calling her and letting her know we might need to cancel, and we'll just have it next week. Give you some time to get healthy. What you think about that?
Yeah, excuse me. That sounds good.
I'm gonna get you a flask. If anybody is out there right now, Illumila has some flask in his store. We need to go and get Kwame a flask so that he can stay up on his ambrosia, or at least get some Phoenix blood, because I'm getting that too, so that every now and then he get a nice stiff shot and knock all that shit out. All right. All right. Hey, do you have?
Go ahead and hit it.
Do you have? Was that you that texted me and said I owed you $7?
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was Miss Ford. That was the boss. The boss is listening. Shouts out to the boss. She know who she is. So brother Kwame, do you have Sister Cassandra's number?
I believe I do. I should.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is, after I get off the show, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna get her number, and I'm gonna send out a text to all people to let them know we're gonna cancel for this week. Unless you wanna text her now, if you get off, because you sound horrible, get off my line. And could you text her?
I know we missed you in class last night, Kwame.
Kwame is sitting over here cocking up, and you're supposed to mix him in class.
Yeah.
Sounding all deep.
Brother Lumala, I did let y'all know that I did let him know that I wouldn't be there.
I came late. Well, I was there and I had to leave and come back. He made the announcement. I probably was gone.
You know, Navita is an international traveler and a super hustler. She's a pimp on all types of levels and shit. So, in a positive light.
Yeah, I'm still waiting so I can check out some more shades, so I can get with my board. So,
we'll be back in town this probably Tuesday. But I got to keep reminding him he ordered the dark lenses. Matter of fact, when he get back and he placed a new order, I'll remember. I'm gonna remind him before he placed the damn order.
Now, also, for those that don't know, Sister Navita has created a nice combination with that Phoenix blood and salad dressing. So that's gonna be one of the ventures we go on too. So we're gonna corner the salad market in a black community in Columbus, and then also the salad dressing piece. I figure we should be able to provide at least 15 jobs if we just do that. You know, I'm just saying. But go ahead, Sister Navita.
Right, you got the kombucha dressings, I guess.
And she put her
infused with
she put her foot in it.
the different types of dressings.
Why don't you go ahead and make it part of that? Make it all open and call it the boss dressing, and then whatever flavor like boss vinaigrette. Or whatever flavor,
right.
you are, just boss it up. You know what I'm saying?
You got to boss it up, huh?
Boss it up. Boss it up.
Now, on the folktale part, I only caught the last one. I'm having a lot of trouble picking you up on Facebook. I don't know if it's my internet is tripping. I can't get this on my phone, and then it was locked up on me about 10 minutes ago on my laptop, so...
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here.
It's not your internet.
Okay, I get well.
It's not your
it
internet.
may be my devices.
No, because you're not the only one.
Maybe.
A lot of people have been telling me that they have not been able to get the peace because family, y'all got to understand, we doing good work. We moving things right now. We're moving things right now, and what that means is that we are an issue. So we have to. So what they call them, it ain't logarithms, whatever they call it. We're not fitting into
algorithm.
The algorithm. We're not fitting into the algorithm. So not only are they you're not getting the algorithm, even though that you have been coming on the show on a regular basis, and the first thing that should almost one of the things that need to pop up on your timeline is the fact that I'm having a show. You know what I'm saying? Out of everybody, think about this, Sister Navita. You come on regularly. Kwame come on regularly. Sister Cynthia comes on regularly. And so when I'm having a show, two of the people that come on regularly are having problems finding my show. How is that possible?
Yeah, I can't get it on my cell phone. Now, on my grandson's cell phone, I can.
Because your grandson is not a regular listener.
On my laptop today, it was very problematic. So.
Your grandson is not a regular listener, so all his accounts probably up under him. So he could go and he could type in and he could find it. But those of us that listen, of course they're going to make it hard for you to find because you're spending too much time with Brother Hatim. You're spending too much time with Gye-Nyame Journey. You're up here toasting that. We need to go on and just throw on we need to, change it up a little bit. You need to go on and you need to see some ratchet shit. We need to plug you into a black fight, so we could go and keep you where you are. But Sister Navita, you are a true soldier, so you're going to keep, not even a soldier, you're a true warrior. You're going to keep up the fight, you're going to find us. And like I said, those of you that's having...
Spreaker is a good alternative.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm just, I can't wait to get the iPhone app on that as well, because I'm starting to find out that a lot of my folks like iPhones. So we about to get the iPhone app. I'm about to cry, man. My little girl walked by me. She found her own outfit, and it's a nice looking outfit. And she walking around with a fake cell phone in her back pocket, and I'm just watching them grow right in front of my eyes. This is incredible. But it would be nice if you put some lotion on your legs. I see ash. Okay. And I suspend kids at my school for ash. Go on. You need to go.
No, you better stop.
I do. Ash is a crime. That means that you ain't drinking enough water. And we have a water rule at the school, because really when I'm finding is the more water we give our kids, the less behaviors that we have.
Well, that's good.
Think about that. Hey, we're not giving pills. He start tripping. Man, drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Drink. Matter of fact, I need some college students that are looking for a paper to write, and we need to see if that shit works. You know what I'm saying? We need to. Okay, cool. Brother Kwame just sent me the sister's email address and stuff, and I'm gonna call all those that's in Gye-Nyame, send out the word. We're not doing emotional emancipation circles today. Brother Hatim is about to take his kids, and we're gonna disappear. And I'm gonna spend this whole weekend. I gotta get some dirt because I'm trying to grow this bag of potatoes. I'm gonna get out here and work in this garden with Cleve because we got flowers falling and shit, and just covering up other stuff. So some of the flowers are gonna need to be picked. We got white moss.
Well, let me know sometime for my grandson if he's free, because you know when he can't start back in basketball till November. I don't understand that, but you know they said he had to be easy on his
wrist,
hand.
Right, he broke it.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
Well, how hard is basketball on?
He got to use his wrist to dribble the ball, girl.
But it's, I mean, I don't know. Well, the doctor said. The doctor said that he needed to take it easy, so his grandfather decided to move back his basketball until November, since he said he needed to take it easy. But I think basketball, it would be easy, but I don't know.
But listen, now,
he's not playing. He's about to do soccer, but he won't be doing basketball, which is usually on Saturdays.
Now check this out.
So he will probably have some free Saturdays.
All right, cool, because we're going to start, we starting our warrior. Once again, we never stop, but we starting the warrior training. We just have fluctuations and stuff like that. But
why don't you come down here and put a garden down here?
Say it again.
You don't want to. You don't want to put no garden down here. It's too late. You can do a winter garden or a fall garden.
A fall garden where? In your yard?
It's a community garden on my street. My neighbor is the head of that garden. They ain't doing nothing with it this year. They need somebody to do something.
It might be.
So that would be a good project. If
I ain't never heard. I gotta look at
down.
what type of food grow in fall. I mean, my kids got enough stuff going on now.
He knows all that stuff, so I don't know that. Probably root vegetables.
You know what? Well, we got. I guess we, but you gotta do miles for potatoes. But I can't put no more work on them kids because I think they did a good job this year. We're gonna give it up for the Urban Gems and those Gye-Nyame Warriors.
All right.
That salad was the shit.
So I only got to tell you, I only heard the last thing you said because I've been struggling to get on today, afternoon. And so the last one I heard was the one about she was in the city, then she went out to the wilderness. You read something before that?
No. I was about to go into, because remember I didn't do the show on Ujima.
Right, I thought that was the one that you was going to do.
No, that was the one I was going to do on Kuji Chakalia. I still got 3 more, so I'll say that for tomorrow. I ain't gonna pile it on. Family, I'm not gonna pile it on you today. The Lord has moved us, and we know that truth hides in the wilderness. And you got to go out and you have to seek out truth, cause she's a crying in the moaning in the wilderness.
Okay, no, thank goodness you never tried to be a preacher.
Shit, girl, listen, that's me playing. You ain't heard the real shit. Listen. I could that would have been an easy hustle. I'm just telling y'all right now. I chose a harder path. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy for me to mold a bunch of motherfuckers that have agreed on some shit and then they go on. But my whole piece was I never went to ministry, especially the ministry that's in our community, because I never believed in Jesus in the way that other people did, and I felt that it was be an injustice for me to step in there and not really have the sincere love for that deity in the way that those people did. But it would have been easy. I mean, that shit, my life would be a lot easier now if I wanted to really turn that into a hustle. I'm just being honest. That's nothing. Right. That's nothing. Going through the scriptures and finding the stories, that's what I do. That, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say mega church, but I'm gonna say I'll be driving a Cadillac right now.
Me and you both. Man, listen. Well, next time you come over, remind me to show you this minister from here. I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't even gonna put her out there. But this chick right here, hustle game on point for weak most people it is anyway. But that hustle gang, she living large.
Listen.
Large.
It's not. It's all you
but,
got.
Real quick before we go, though, we talked about this briefly in class yesterday.
The who?
I had called somebody in our class yesterday. We talked about this briefly. But I had called somebody to see if they were coming to class. They're usually there early, and they said they weren't going to be there early because they was watching, Aretha Franklin's funeral.
Right.
And that funeral lasted 6 hours?
No, that shit might have... Listen, my mama called me because she was supposed to bring something over to the school for me. My mama called me about 10 o'clock talking about, well, I'm watching Aretha funeral. Can you come over? I went over to the house at 5 o'clock, and that shit still was on. So not mean to call it shit, but y'all understand. I mean, Aretha did her goddamn thing. Aretha lived her life, right? But
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead. But you were saying.
My point, so the point was that now, and I like Aretha, and I like from what I know of her, and I appreciate the contribution she's made, and I like her music. I wasn't alive during her era, but I do know.
Wait, stop.
Stop. Music,
but stop. No. Wait, stop. I can't let you get away with that shit. Navita, you a couple months older than me. You cannot say that you was not.
I was alive. Let me say, I was aware of her heyday. When her music was really big, when I came on the scene and I was listening to music by that time, and Aretha wasn't at her height of her career.
Okay, cool. I'll go for that. I'm going to let you go.
Cadillac and Freeway of Love. But I mean, all the other songs prior to, like, that my mother and them was into, I've heard them, and I liked them when I heard them, but, I wasn't old enough, let me put it that way, to when she was in her height of her career to be privy to her like that. I came, I really listen to her on a regular basis like that.
I just wanted to say, because I ain't want you sitting up here.
Yeah, I mean, I was alive, for sure. I'm 50 years old. I was alive. But
you ain't no 60?
I wasn't able to benefit the...
You said 60?
She was doing her thing.
So you been lying to me.
I wasn't old enough to be able to appreciate that.
You just said you 60?
But anyway.
Navita, did you just say you 60?
50.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, because you be lying.
50.
Ooh, go ahead.
No, I'm 50. Right. But anyway, so her funeral, the person told me it was 6 hours long. So... I was just kind of curious this is what I thought. I wish we had more of a balance in our community, because if I was to do something that was a 6 hour long, something related to Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey, I bet you I couldn't get nobody to be as attentive as they were to the Aretha Franklin funeral. And I do understand that she is an entertainer, and she probably, with her music, has touched people's souls, so to speak. So, you heard that today?
You said who?
Sorry about that. It's Real Life here at
Gye-Nyame Journey.
In Nate Nelson's house.
Real Life at Gye-Nyame Journey, y'all.
Okay, so anyway, so yeah, I was just saying that I know she touched people's soul / spirit, or whatever you'd like to call it, through her music by vibrating on certain frequencies. But I would love to see that enthusiasm of those our entertainers as much as we can do our educators. That's all I was saying. It kind of saddened me. It was bittersweet, you know what I mean?
Right. Brother Kwame said something about, what about the ghost gun? Want to hear about this. From 10 a.m. to at least 6 p.m. What's the ghost gun, Kwame? If you can elaborate, I could do. No. She was so much more than an entertainer. You was to our parents' generation. You were to our generation, our parents' generation, as Prince was to our own. I do not exaggerate. I mean, Rita, Aretha was cold, but by the time I got it, I'm like Sister Navita. I was like love on the pink Cadillac. I'm like I didn't like that shit. But her older shit, she was monumental to the aspirations of what folks did, and then also, involvement with the civil rights movement.
I heard she bailed out some Black Panthers and stuff.
Oh man, listen, Angela
and I
Davis.
can dig that. Like I said, I'm not taking away from her, and that's what I don't want people to do. I'm not taking away from her, but I'm saying, and there's no denying about how monumental, how much she's done. She's not a Marcus Garvey, and you could never get somebody to support. And Marcus, I'm talking about balance here. The way that they showed up. If we would have did something yesterday, a 6-hour tribute for Marcus Garvey yesterday, I don't think we would have had the support that we had for her. And I think it should be a balance. I think we should appreciate our people like Aretha just as much as we appreciate our educators. And yeah, I heard she gave money and bonded out, Black Panthers, like you said, Prince, he did a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Check this out.
To honor him on that level. But I also, you want to see me at the Marcus Garvey stuff too, you did?
Right.
You ain't going to just see me. Now, there's people that, if you said Marcus Garvey or Malcolm X, you might not even get to Aretha Franklin, I'm there. I burnt my toast fooling with y'all.
Oh, don't blame us for your bad cooking. Y'all, Gye-Nyame, we don't do that here. You don't pass the buck.
Brother Kwame made me burn my my toast.
Here we go. So
and all that sickness energy over there.
I put up a post by Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm Gladwell did a video on the hug that was heard around the world. And this brother did an excellent story on Sammy Davis Jr. I know a lot of motherfuckers don't want to hear about Sammy Davis Jr., the sellout, blah, blah, blah. He became Jewish.
Okay.
But this motherfucker, listen, I got to sit with Elder Harry Belafonte. And I had the honor of being able to chill with Elder Harry.
Okay.
And Harry Belafonte was one of those in the civil rights movement that if Martin got in trouble, if individuals during that movement got in trouble, they would say, call Harry, right?
Okay.
But the real, I ain't gonna say Harry was Elder Harry was a go-to guy, but the other first string go-to guy during the civil rights movement that a lot of people don't even know about was Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy Davis Jr. was breaking bread for that shit. People we wasn't even aware of that shit. Not, so y'all gonna feel how you feel. We oftentimes have individuals that are involved with what we do, and we don't know their involvement because we are not the media. That's what Gye-Nyame Journey is for. This is like when I say I set up the line.
And
I set up the line.
Well, I wasn't around. I'm probably not privy to a lot of the things that she may have done, because when I got hit to her, and it was Pink Cadillac and something else, I forget the other song. Right. Of course, everybody knew R.E.S.P.C.T., but I'm saying she may have done some things that I just don't know about outside of, which I think is honorable when you have somebody of her status to even bail out people in the civil rights movement. Right. You got to give it to her for that, because a lot of people because they could have, stripped her on her strap for doing stuff like that, and she put herself on the line for that.
Right.
And that's honorable with the sister, straight up.
And we have to, like I said, and that's because, like, for example, enough people don't know about Marcus Garvey. Enough people don't know really about Malcolm X. They just know what the media told them. We got to understand. Now, there's a Judeo-Christian concept where they say that Satan was the angel that was the highest angel in heaven, and the thing that he was in charge of was music. Basically, he was in charge of propaganda. And media is the first horn, is the highest level for a government, because the media shapes the ideas and the minds of the people. So they represent Satan in a sense. So what we have to do And I know some of y'all ain't gonna like this when I say it. We got to set up our own Satan. We got to set up our own media so that we can start shaping the minds of the people. That's what media is for. Media ain't just.
See, and you got to draw. See, that's why when I came on aboard with y'all with the Malcolm X Festival, one thing I said that you got to have was a band.
Oh yeah.
And there was a reason behind that.
You
because with the Prince piece that I put at the Unfortunately Canceled Arts Festival that I put in there, there was still a strategy behind that. Because people who typically won't show up to hear about Marcus or Malcolm or whomever, maybe Steve Biko or whatever, the people will show up for that. And then that's when you slide it in, you know.
Right.
Boom, since we got you here. And I had a lot of people question me about that, why print? Why would you do that? I'm like, you know, and I explained it to some people. They're like, okay, I get it now.
Well, hold on. Sister Navita, what's important about what you did, right, was that you could have, you actually didn't even have to explain it to those people. If they didn't like it, they didn't need to come. They didn't need to come. But you was going to have more people because I had people interested in the Prince piece, right? You know what I'm saying? And for us, what we got to understand is that a lot of times we take too much time explaining shit to motherfuckers, trying to justify it rather than just doing it. The media aspect of what we're doing, we need to build that up and start getting out the information so that people understand the behind the scenes stuff. If you just heard about Sammy Davis and you seen some of the shit that Sammy Davis was doing, you wouldn't know that he had contributed to where we are right now. You wouldn't know about Harry Belafonte. Girl, is Darth Vader on the goddamn line? What is that? What is that?
What is what?
Is something breathing on like Darth Vader on the goddamn... Is that you? I knew it.
I put mine on mute. I muted my phone.
I knew it. Navita, you Darth Vader. I knew it. I
just took the mute off my phone. I ain't burned that thing.
Oh my God.
You said you like it burnt. That's not burnt though.
Now listen.
You don't want it?
Now, I'm gonna mute her. Now, let me tell you what just happened. She tried to do a Jedi mind trick on her grandson and fool him into believing that the toast that she just told us wasn't burnt. I hope he listening. The toast that she told us was burnt. She trying to convince him that it's not burnt. Don't fall for it, nephew. Don't fall for it. Demand some more toast, man. Don't fall for it. We got to tell our truth. We got to tell our children the truth. Right? I'm just joking. But family, yeah, we got to develop a media because the media is what controls the minds of the people. And we don't understand that. All this shit is war. All this shit is war. I got a young person trying to call in. So somebody trying to call in. Hold on, I'm gonna get to him in a second. All right, so family, I gotta go because I got young people. I look like I might have to go to the school because they popping up at the school right now. Right, trying to convince him it wasn't burnt toast. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in our community that we're not really aware of, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of dynamics that because motherfuckers, they got y'all believing that everything should be transparency. This is why I hated that shit when Obama was saying transparency. You can't run a government on transparency, homie. Because if all the people can see it, so can your enemies. I mean, what kind of shit is that? Yeah. Let's have a transparent football game. Listen, I'm gonna tell you to play. How that work? How would a transparent football game? I'm gonna tell all my fans to play before I do that. I ain't gonna tell her to. All my fans deserve to know to play before I run that shit. How that gonna work? Shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? Transparency, right? Right. It's certain things that should be above board, but war is not one of them. So we have to understand that there's an underlying strategy in all these things. When we talk about media, media is a weapon. When we talk about economics, money and all of the resources are a weapon. And when we don't recognize that, we get caught on the end and be getting our ass kicked. Economics have been weaponized against our community. And some of us are just now coming into the realization of that shit. Economics have always been a weapon. We just wasn't aware of that. And they're not going to teach you that shit in college. You know what I'm saying? They're going to teach you obscure economic data and shit. But the fact of the matter is, economics is a weapon. Music is a weapon. Entertainment is a weapon. Comic books are weapons. Have we picked them up and start using them as weapons to defend ourselves or to forward our attack towards where we want to go? No, we try to pull on the heartstrings of our motherfuckers that don't want to give a shit. Fuck their heartstrings. What about the heartstrings of all the other motherfuckers that's suffering in America? That America will never prosper and prosper like it did before. Or if it has ever really, we haven't even seen the prosperity of America. What will happen to America after America did right by those black folks, those DOS, right? Or however you want to refer to yourself. You got a badass team when you can tell the other team, I am going right there. Stop me if you can. Badass. And a lot of them ain't badass because most victories are won by slick shit. Kwame is referring back to my statement about the football team. You a badass team. You can tell the motherfucker, we going through the 6 hole, and we dare you to stop us. But in most cases, that shit don't work. Teams win by deception, not by transparency. Don't fall, as Allende call it, don't fall for the brainwash. Y'all on that brainwash shit. So you go to organizations and you're talking about organizations that are talking about liberation, and then you turn around and say, hey, but what about transparency? How the fuck I supposed to be talking to you? I don't even know you. You just came to the fucking meeting talk. Get the fuck up out the meeting. You a spy. Transparency. Nigga, please. I'm just saying. I be having all types of crazy shit popping off. I can't even form my tribe without some crazy shit popping off. Motherfuckers that's just coming into the organization want privy to private information. How is that possible? Where does that happen? Nigga, go get a job by IBM and see how much secret information you able to. Fuck it, go get a job at Amazon, where they put your ass in a warehouse and work you like a motherfucking slave and think that you're going to get you some top secret information from the top of Amazon. You don't talk to Amazon about no motherfucking, what is it called? Transparency. But when it comes to black movements, since Obama said that he going to make the government, which he never did, you can't have something called Central Intelligence Agency if transparency is there. You can't have black ops if transparency is there. You can't drop bombs on civilians if transparency is there. Right? There's certain aspects of government that can't be transparent because I have to take the action before everybody can have knowledge of it. Because if everybody got knowledge of it, then my action won't be effective. Hell, that same thing in business. If everybody know what action I'm going to take, as a matter of fact, do you know what they call transparency in business? Insider trading. Motherfucker, get out of here. Y'all be coming with some bullshit. Y'all be coming with the brainwash, and then y'all do research to support that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's called insider trading, right? I should be able to know when a company is about to make a major change that's going to cause a major ripple in the economic system. I believe in transparency. Now, you's a motherfucking corporate vulture. That's what you are, right? Everybody don't operate on transparency. But family, this brother Hatim, I'd like to thank y'all for joining me. Let me go and make these calls so people know that we ain't going to be meeting. I got young people calling me, and I have to call and apologize because I'm not going to be able to get up out my house on time. Me and my kids, we're going to go out, and we're going to have some fun. And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to pick which flowers I'm going to kill and which flowers I'm going to not kill. I'm going to pick them, put them up on my table, and maybe disappoint some of the hummingbirds, because I actually saw a hummingbird, and I'm glad that some of y'all was able to I mean, I hope that you saw the genuineness in the shock when I saw a hummingbird blessing my son's garden, right? So family, this brother Hatim, I am out. Oh, hold on. I have known some basketball players who told their defender exactly what he was going to do, and the defender still couldn't stop the player. That was a bad month. Yeah, and that's that rare individual. But in war, right, anything could happen. And I'm going to tell you something else about those people that's that good to tell a motherfucker where they're going. They have already measured the abilities of their opponents, and they know what their opponents are going to be able to stop and what their opponents are not going to be able to stop. They know the opponent's weakness because they have tried it, and they know the opponent's strength because they have tried it, right? And when you're able to do that, you have done some undercover research prior to the transparency of I'm going right, right? I'm going right. You know what I'm saying? Because if the right is their strong point, the only reason they're going right is because they know that at their strongest, they can't even compete with them. Right? Right? So family, Brother Hatim is out in a non-transparent way. I'm not going to tell you when I'm leaving. I'm just going to leave. All right. I'm out. Peace.